All right, we are good. Okay, so happy greetings, everyone. I'm Crystal Forman. I'm the owner and educator of Holistic Wellness and Health, where we make healthy living easy, nutritious, delicious, and fun, with a focus on plant-based foods to help you live a healthier, compassionate, and more vibrant life. Today, we are making a Caesar salad, vegan Caesar salad, and we'll be making our own dressing and croutons. If you can see and hear me okay, please say hello and let me know in the comment section. I am looking now. So if you can see and hear me, please let me know so I can continue. We will be making our own dressing as well as our own croutons for this dish. And we're going to get started with our croutons. So I'm using sourdough bread today. And I'm just going to use a serrated knife. It's very important to use a serrated knife instead of a sharp edge knife. Makes it easier to cut the bread and it won't smush it. If you use like a super sharp knife like this, it'll kind of smush the bread. So I see we have someone watching now who can say hello. Please let me know you can see and hear everything okay. So I'm just cutting the bread into 1-inch pieces. So we're just cutting this into 1-inch pieces here. If you don't have sourdough bread, you can really use whatever bread you have. It's best if it's a week old, but if it's fresh bread, it'll just take a little longer to bake and dry out. So we have our bread here. I'm going to put it in my bowl. And we're going to make the dressing for the bread. So a lot of people will put the olive oil in and then they'll add the seasonings, or they'll put the seasonings in with the breadcrumbs and then add the olive oil later. But I like to do it a different way. So for our croutons, we have our bread and we're going to add in our olive oil as well as our nutritional yeast. So 1 moment. 1/4 cup, actually we'll do a 1/2 cup of olive oil. Can you see? Okay, awesome. Thanks for watching from YouTube, David. Good to see you. So I have a 1/2 cup of olive oil here. I'm going to add in a 1/2 teaspoon of our pink Himalayan salt. You can sea salt as well. We're going to add in 2 teaspoons of garlic powder and onion powder. And if you don't like as much onion, 1/2 teaspoon will do. I'm going to do full. The more you add the seasonings, the more flavorful your croutons will be. Then I'm going to add in basil leaves. So 1 teaspoon of basil and 1 teaspoon of parsley flakes. If you have any questions about anything, please let me know. Everything's good. All right. And I'm going to added my salt already. So we are good. So just mix this all together. And you're going to pour this on top of your croutons and just mix it together. Make sure everything gets nice and mixed well. Let me get my spatula. I'll be right back. So just use a spoon or spatula to coat the bread completely. If you don't have any herbs to put on, you don't have to worry about that. The garlic powder is probably the most important part to make sure you get some nice flavor. You can also use grapeseed oil. I've been using grapeseed oil a lot. You might have noticed in a lot of my recipes where I'm cooking, but today I'm just using the olive oil to use it up. So you're just going to put it on your parchment paper lined pan, or if you have a silicone net, that works as well. And you're going to put it in the oven at 350 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how dry your bread is already. So if you have fresh bread, it's going to take a little longer. But after about 10, 15 minutes, just check on your croutons. Make sure they're not getting too dark or burnt. And just check on it every few minutes after that. So I'm going to go and put this in the oven, and we'll get started with the next part. Awesome. So next, we are going to make our Caesar dressing. And so I have a high-power blender here, but you can use a food processor will work for this as well. So for this, I have our soaked cashews. These are dried. I'm actually going to, hold on, let me see. Okay, so we need 1 cup of raw cashews. Soaked. So you want to let it soak in hot water for at least 15 minutes, or you can let it soak overnight in the refrigerator. It just makes the cashews get nice and soft, so it makes a nice creamy dressing. If you do use it unsoaked, it'll be okay, but it won't be quite as creamy. So it's worth it to do those extra steps to soak it. We're going to add in 2 cloves of garlic, fresh garlic. If you don't have fresh garlic, you can use dehydrated garlic works. 1/4 cup of our olive oil. 1/4 cup of lemon juice. 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. And let's see what's so I have here my garlic powder, onion powder, wakame, and kelp. So the wakame and kelp, get all that in, helps give it a nice seafood flavor. And let me grab my Dijon mustard real quick. And you just need a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. So the seaweed is what gives it the nice kind of fish flavor. So traditional Caesar salad usually has anchovies, anchovy paste or anchovies in it to give it a nice seafood flavor. The fish get their seafood flavor from seafood or seaweed. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to use our seaweeds for that. Also have capers here. If you don't have capers, you can use salt. So I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of capers, or you could use a teaspoon of salt. If you want a little saltier, you can use 2 tablespoons of capers. You can find the capers in the aisle, usually with the olives. So you'll either see it in the international aisle near the Italian and Greek food, or you will see it just in like the condiment section with the olives. So that was a 1/2 tablespoon. Do that one more time. So 1 tablespoon of our capers and pepper to taste, but I'm not going to put any pepper in yet. Actually, the pepper was with that. So we're going to just mix this. It's going to get very loud, sorry. And then to this, we're going to add in 1/2 cup of our warm water, or really the temperature water here. And just enough to make it thin, to get a thinner dressing. So does anyone have any questions? Hi, Chef Doe. Oh, so today we are making our vegan Caesar salad. So I attempted to do this on Monday because Monday was the Ides of March, March 15th. And that was the day that Caesar was assassinated, like 44 BC. And it's also known, Ides of March is when all debts are due. So in ancient Rome, that's when debts were due. So I'm redoing it because we had technical difficulties on Monday. And so for our Live at 5, we decided to make our Caesar dressing. I did the croutons earlier, so you can watch the replay to watch how to make your own croutons. I know you know how, but everyone can watch the replay. And then we have our Caesar dressing that I'm making now. And I used wakame, which is wakame flakes, which is a type of seafood. This is what's used in a lot of miso dishes. So when you get miso soup, you see the green like thing floating in there. You're like, what is this? It's usually wakame. I also put in some kelp granules. So what I love about these, all of these that I have here, this is dulse, which is what I used on Monday. I like to switch it up sometimes. The dulse has like a purplish flavor or color to it. And the flavor is slightly different than the kelp, but they both kind of have that, they definitely have the seafood flavoring to it. And then I have my sea Kelp Delight from Bragg's. So any of these will work well. I love these because they're all high in iodine. For people who follow a plant-based or vegan diet, usually iodine is not included in a lot of the foods. Some foods have iodine in it naturally, but most people get it either from iodinized salt or seaweed type things, spirulina. But a lot of people get it from seafood. And so this is where the seafood get their iodine, so that the sea life animals. So this is just another way to get it from sea plants. And it's really tasty as well. So you can add it to, like when I make a vegan tuna salad using chickpeas, I'll use one of these to give it that nice tuna flavor as well. Yes, David said that, Chef David said that our decks are usually due on the Ides of April, which in America, that is so true. Although this year, I think they've changed the date for when everything's due, but yes. So our dressing is done. I'll fix that in a moment. And we're going to make our own Parmesan cheese as well. So I'm going to use my dry blender here. You can also use the food processor to work well for this. And I'm going to add in a cup of my raw cashews. You can also use roasted. You don't want to soak these. So for this particular dish, you don't want to soak. So we're going to put 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt. It's all going in here. And just put the lid on, and that'll be that. Right. So this is a super quick, easy way to make your own vegan Parmesan. If you're allergic to cashews, you can use sunflower seeds. I've done sunflower seeds for family members who are allergic. We've also used almonds and almond flour. So if you really want to be super fast about it, you can put a cup of almond flour, 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast, some salt, salt, and onion powder, garlic powder. Just shake it up, and you're good to go. Super simple. All right. So we have our Parmesan here, vegan Parmesan cheese. You can put this on top of pretty much anything, on top of your avocado toast, anything that you would use for Parmesan, like even lasagna. You can sprinkle this right on. So we're going to go on and chop up our romaine lettuce. I've also seen people make their Caesar salad with kale, like the lacinato kale, the dinosaur kale, and just thinly slice it. But I'm going to use my beautiful romaine here. I had beautiful romaine that I used on Monday from my friends at Moon Valley Farm, but I used it up. So this is just more of a whole romaine. I'm going to chop it up. Nice bite-sized pieces so that you don't have to use a fork and knife with it, just use a fork. Just one more here. Does anyone have any questions about anything? You can also save these bottoms, put the bottom in some water, and then boil with water. It'll start rooting, and you'll start getting more grains coming out from this. If you want to, after it starts getting roots, you can actually put it in soil, and it'll grow throughout the spring. If you just do the water method, it will only grow. It'll keep growing. You can cut, it'll grow again, but after a while, it won't grow anymore or do anything because all of the nutrients are gone. So it doesn't have anything but plain water and sunlight, and it needs a little more than that. But it's a good way to keep on using up produce and getting more food from your food. So I love reusing food scraps for that purpose. We have our romaine here. Does anyone have any questions? Oh yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Chef Doe. So if you are watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're not watching this on YouTube and you're watching on Facebook, make sure you like this video and share it with others, as well as make sure you go over to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/holistic wellness and health, and make sure you subscribe and let your friends know as well. So I'm going to use this bowl. I'll be right back. Mark this out. Okay, I use this for the croutons. Okay, so we're gonna put our romaine right in our bowl here. If you want to, you can add some olives. So I am going to add olives to this. And then we have our, chicken strips. So we're making chicken Caesar salad. Let me show you all the croutons. So these are the croutons I did earlier using sourdough bread. And I also baked up some of the vegan chicken patties. So I'm just going to cut that up for our salad. If you want to, you can just leave it in strips like this for the look of it, but I'm going to actually dice it up. So I'm going to save a couple of them as strips. So this is going to add a lot of protein to our salad here. And I'm going to add some of our breadcrumbs, our homemade croutons. And if you want to, or if you have it, you can also add avocados are great in this. It's not traditional, but it's delicious. And I would say pick a recipe and make it your own. So whatever you have on hand, you can add. Some people like to add extra capers to the salad itself. But I like it just blend it into the dressing. So, but if you want to, you can add some capers on top of this as well. So we have our olives, and let's add some of our homemade Parmesan. So the Parmesan will keep in the refrigerator for like over a month, or you can even just leave it out on your counter. It usually doesn't last that long for us. So I know that most people say that it'll last for about a month, even on the counter. And you can put this on your popcorn as well. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little on here. And of course, we need our dressing. So if it's very thick, you can add a little more water or lemon juice to it. Just put that in. They have a nice and thick, but I like it this way. A lot of the vegan Caesar dressings, from what I'm hearing, I've only had one. Most of them are not very tasty, unfortunately, or they don't taste a lot like Caesar. So until they come out with one that's really good, it's better to make it yourself. And then you know what's in there as well. So to recap, we made our croutons. We made our own vegan Parmesan using cashews, but you can substitute with sunflower or almond. And we also made our own Caesar dressing. So I'll make sure all of the recipes are on the website by tomorrow morning. It'll probably be up tonight, but just give me a little bit of time. So by tomorrow morning, all of the recipes should be up on the website at holistic-wellnessandhealth.com. If there's anyone has any questions. Hey, Adrian. Oh, yes, definitely catch the replay. Thanks for watching. Make sure you share this video if you all like the content. that we're doing with Holistic Wellness and Health. Share it with others so that they know how to, use their fresh produce from their produce boxes and CSA shares, as well as to show people how to have an easier, healthier life. It doesn't have to be complicated at all. So I'm going to chop up some more olives here, and if anyone has any questions, I'll be here for a couple more minutes, and I will post the recipes shortly. It is yummy. Marcia, you're welcome. You're welcome, Marcia. Yeah, and make sure let people know about the YouTube channel too, because we are trying to grow that as well. So if you're watching it, it's from Black Veg. This is actually be cool for me to be able to see which ones people are watching from. So we're broadcasting on Black Veg Facebook channel, Holistic Wellness and Health Facebook channel, and Holistic Wellness and Health YouTube channel. So make sure you go to all of those and like them as well. Appreciate it a lot. So everyone have a beautiful day. Enjoy the weather wherever you are. And I will see you all next Monday for our live at 5. And as well, of course, every Friday live at 5 as well, 5 p.m. Eastern time. And awesome. Thank you, Adrienne. Thanks for sharing. I will see you all next time. Peace, love, and blessings, everyone. Okay.